All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are cracking the code on one of the biggest headaches on the SAT writing section, subject-verb agreement. By the time we're done here, you're going to have a rock-solid strategy to spot the SAT's favorite tricks and just nail these questions every time. So let's do this.
So let me ask you a question. What do you think is the SAT's #1 most common grammar trap? The one thing they use over and over again to trip people up. It's not some obscure vocabulary word. Nope, it's something that looks simple on the surface, but it hides a really clever trick. And that trap is all about subject-verb agreement. But here's the good news, and this is super important. The SAT isn't really a test of how well you know every single grammar rule ever written. It's a pattern recognition game. The mistakes, especially for subject-verb agreement, follow a very fixed, predictable set of patterns. Once you learn to see the patterns, you can solve the puzzle. It's that simple.
So here's our game plan for cracking that code. First, we're going to lock down the one core rule you absolutely have to know. Then, we'll dive into the 3 biggest traps, finding the true subject, figuring out if a subject is singular or plural, and spotting those sneaky, deceptive nouns. And to wrap it all up, we'll build your ultimate SAT cheat sheet.
Okay, first things first. We have to start with the absolute foundation. Everything, and I mean everything, we're about to cover builds on this one simple non-negotiable rule. Okay, so the rule itself is actually super simple. A verb has to agree in number with its subject. That's it. Singular subject, singular verb. Plural subject, plural verb. A quick little hint for the present tense. Singular verbs usually end in an S, like he runs. Plural verbs usually don't, like they run. It seems so easy, right? Well, the whole trick of the SAT is how it hides that real subject from you. Let me show you how to find it every time. So I'm going to give you a simple 3-step approach you can use on literally every single one of these questions. Think of it as your secret weapon. Step 1, find the verb. Step 2, ask yourself who or what is doing the verbing. That'll point you right to the subject. And finally, step 3, make sure they match. Singular with singular, plural with plural. That little check is everything.
All right, let's dive into the SAT's favorite move, trap number 1, hiding the real subject of the sentence with a bunch of distracting words.
Okay, check out this sentence. The quality of the student essays were excellent. Your brain immediately spots essays right next to were. And hey, they're both plural, so it sounds okay, right? But that's the trap. Essays is not the subject here. It's just a distraction.
So here's the trick, and it's a game changer. Just mentally, or literally, with your pencil, cross out that junk in the middle. See that? Of the student essays, gone. What's left? The quality was excellent. The real subject is quality, and quality is a single thing. It's singular, so it needs a singular verb, was. This is the SAT's go-to move.
Oh, and the SAT loves to pull this move too. They flip the sentence completely upside down. In a sentence like this one, the subject actually shows up after the verb. So you ask, what were among the findings? 3 major conclusions. That's your subject, it's plural, so the plural verb were is totally correct. If you get stuck, just mentally unflip the sentence. 3 major conclusions were among the key findings. Makes perfect sense.
Okay, so we know how to find the subject, but now we hit trap number 2. Sometimes the subject is tricky, and it's hard to tell if it's supposed to be singular or plural. And trust me, the SAT has a list of words it knows will cause confusion. First up, confound subjects. Now, if you stick 2 things together with and, it's pretty simple. They become plural. The professor and your team have. But, and this is a big but, if you use or nor, it gets a little weird. The rule is the verb has to agree with whatever subject is physically closer to it in the sentence. So it's neither the teacher nor the students are, because students is plural, and it's right up against the verb.
Okay, this next one is just straight up memorization. There's no way around it. These pronouns you see here, they are always singular. I mean, always. No exceptions. The SAT will try to fool you by sticking a plural phrase right after them, like each of the players have, but you're not going to fall for it. The subject is each, singular, so the sentence has to be each of the players has.
Collective nouns. This is another classic SAT trap. I'm talking about words like team, committee, family. They feel plural, right? Because they're made up of a bunch of people. But for the SAT, you have to think of them as one single thing, one unit. So you'd say the team is winning, not the team are winning. The team acts as one. Okay, you ready for the advanced level? Let's talk about trap number 3. These are what I call deceptive nouns. They're wolves in sheep's clothing.
They look plural because they end in S, but they're secretly singular. Knowing these is a huge advantage.
Just take a look at this list. You wouldn't say, the news are good, right? You'd say, the news is good. It's the same thing for school subjects like mathematics or physics, and even diseases like measles. They all end in S, but they are all singular. Just got to know them. And now, for what might be the SAT's all-time favorite, most specific trap, the difference between a number of and the number of. A number of is just a fancy way of saying many, so it's plural. A number of cars have. But the number of refers to a specific singular amount, so it's singular. The number of cars has. It all comes down to that tiny first word, or the. That's the whole game.
Whew. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. We've decoded the patterns, we've spotted the traps. Now, let's pull it all together into the ultimate cheat sheet, your one-stop shop for your final review. And there it is, your master cheat sheet. On the left, you see the trap. In the middle, how it looks when it's wrong, and on the right, how you're going to fix it. We've got the distracting phrase, the or/nor rule, each of, the whole a number versus the number thing, and those deceptive nouns. Seriously, take a screenshot of this. Burn it into your brain. I promise you will start seeing these patterns jumping off the page.
So there you have it. See? You don't need to be some grammar genius to crush this part of the SAT. You just need to be a code breaker. And guess what? Now you have all the keys. You know the patterns, you know how to avoid the traps, and you know how to answer these questions with total confidence. The only question left is, are you ready to beat this test?